I've developed this thesis that a brand today is like the reputation you have, mass exposure, like the things you do, mass exposure with some good, clean graphic design. And there's your brand. Is there more really in your mind to branding than that?
What I see most companies do, this is not the answer you want to hear, but this is the reality for most people. They end up taking the approach of like, oh, let's just throw up a website, whatever color schemes the designer picks, whatever logos or whatever we have or whatever our competition is using, something cool like that.
Right.
Or pick something around the web that they like, be like, I want to be like that.
Right.
And they pop it up and go from there.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
You grow and you make more money and you start doing more sales, you'll then have the attitude of, is my font easy to read? Do my colors really appeal to my target audience? Does my branding and identity, what do people really think when they look at our logo, right? Is it cartoony? Do we have too much cartoony stuff going on? Or do we want to be resembled as, safe and secured and old school, more like an IBM, so people turn to us all the time?
Not to cut you off, but you go, hey, we have some money. Let's interview some San Diego ad agencies. This one looks good. They did the site for Purell, and they did the site for Nike, and they did some work for Adidas, and they did some work for the NHL and whatever. And fuck it, I like these guys. Let's give them our brand. And they come in with a couple designs. You go, I like this one, and boom, we have a brand. Like, that's how it happens. Is there more magic? I'm trying to find someone who goes, there's more magic than that.
There really isn't. People will tell you about all these identity and brand books and perceptions. And I'm not saying branding is not important, but I will tell you this. I've seen so many people tweak their brands, spend hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars on it, on logos and all that. And we've done A/B tests on the conversions. And in like 99.99% of the time, I kid you not, it doesn't do crap to their revenue or their sales.
Fuck you. You are amazing. Hold on a second. I have been saying this for I've talked to all these brand agencies, and there's magic, McMagic underneath the magic.
Where the magic is where the magic is when your brand's memorable. And here's what I mean by that. People can identify the check mark in Nike. It's unique. If they can remember your logo, your brand, what your company does, that's great. But you got to spend a shit ton on advertising, excuse my language, a ton of money on advertising and marketing to have everyone know that Nike is just do it and that they're athletic. That didn't happen overnight. They've been around for ages. Phil Knight started selling shoes in the trunk of his car. You know how many sports athletes are wearing that check mark on their shoes or their jerseys? Everyone knows what Nike is now, but it wasn't that memorable of a brand when they first started off. You spend enough money on advertising and marketing, and you have a good product, then you'll have a brand.
We meet so many companies who have a logo, and they literally got it from Logo Monster. They licensed it for $8, or they owned it for $49 from Logo Monster, but it just has so much distribution and repetition that they turned it into brand. So yes.
But here's the funniest part. Just like you mentioned the Logo Monster and stuff like that. When we first started creating our logo, it's just text. It just says NP Digital. Like straight up, it's just text. You pick a font, be like, this looks good. Throw it up on a website and then go from there. People like it. Eventually you fine tune it here and there. But I kid you not, every time we made changes to it, our sales don't go down, but they don't go up either. There's really no difference.
Thank you.
And I would say there's caveats to it. If you're a Nike or a Coca-Cola or a Pepsi, sure, maybe it can affect you negatively, but let's face it, that's not 99.99% of us.
If you're planning to become a deal maker at this level, make sure to join the Daily Dealmaker. We get into one little piece of this daily, and so you're just stacking and stacking and stacking these tools and tactics and strategies until they come out of you as naturally as they come out of me and the people that I work with. Add the tips, tools, strategies, tactics a little bit every day, and by the end of a year, you'll be a totally different, new, improved person and a very strong deal maker.